Hi, this is Nico Smith, and we're here to solve all the world's problems in all the wisdom and insights that comes with being me. Now, let's start with this new series. I'd like to do a series of videos on how fixing the taxes fixes everything. Now, if you know me, you will realize that I like to speak in hyperbole, and therefore, obviously, take with a pinch of salt when I say that taxes would fix everything. Taxes will not fix everything. Honestly, the only thing that can fix South Africa and our countries is God. And if we have more godly governance and government, then that is what would fix South Africa. But in the meantime, while we're striving towards that and working towards that, we also need practical solutions to the problems that we have every day. And one of the core things that I believe could solve this problem is if we can fix the taxes. Now, I hate taxes just as much as everyone else. No one likes to pay taxes. I'm a conservative, so I believe that we need as little taxes as possible and a small government, and that is how we will run an efficient country. But we do need to pay taxes because taxes is what covers everything that is working in the country, everything from roads to services like water, electricity, etc. All of this comes from taxes. It's how the economy stays together. It's how we can have a police force. It's how we can have the rule of law. We all want laws. We all want there to be judges and courts. We want the military to protect us and the police to protect us. So in order for that to be there, we have to pay tax. It has to come from somewhere. Now, this is the first thing that I think the problem is that so many people in the world, in our voting democracies, do not understand taxes. And people think that government, government does stuff. Government gives us police. Government runs the courts. Government gives us the military. But the thing is, government does not have anything. Government doesn't have money. People want government to give them social benefits and welfare, but government does not have money to give. The only thing that government is a redistribution scheme. Government takes money from one person and gives it to another. It takes money from a taxpayer and distributes it in a way that it finds suitable. And a democracy is where we decide, and we're supposed to be voting to say, how is this distribution supposed to be happening? Now, therein lies the problem, is that I believe that most people do not understand taxes, and therefore they do not understand how to vote. And if we can change this situation, then that could solve a lot of the problems that we have with voting, the people that are being voted for, the government that we have, just by fixing taxes. So, the way to do that is to let everyone pay tax, which is quite a contradiction for someone who hates taxes as much as I do and who wants to pay as little taxes as possible. But it is the only way for this to make sense. People have to pay taxes and they have to realize that they're paying taxes and they have to realize what the taxes are going for. And currently, we don't have any of that. So let's just take a step back. And when I say taxes, I'm talking about taxes that you can feel because we have tax on food, we have tax on the groceries that we buy, we have tax on the petrol that we buy, but you don't see these taxes. You go to a grocery store, you pay, and a part of that money goes to taxes, but to you, it might as well be going to Checkers or Pick and Pay. So it's not that people really understand these taxes and feel it. There's only one tax that you really feel, and that is income tax. That is when you know, I did work and I earned this amount of money. And now here comes the government and they take a slice of that money. It hurts us to the core. And that is the only type of tax that I feel that is tangible and that everyone can feel. And that is actually the type of tax that I would like everyone to be on as much as possible so that people can feel it. How we do that exactly will come in the next video. But right now, I want to dive a bit more deeper into the principle of taxes and getting everyone to be on board as taxpayers. So let me sketch a scenario. Let's say that I live in a house. I work, I've got an income, and I pay for the house, and I buy food, and I pay for the cleaning. Well, I do the cleaning in the house, I work in the yard, I maintain everything. And when money comes in, I decide where's it being spent? What am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? Now, let's say I have a buddy that comes to live with me, and the buddy is not contributing to the house. He's not contributing any work. He's not bringing in a salary. He's not helping to buy food. He's kind of just free loafing around here, sitting on the couch. So, because we all have a social conscience, if my buddy does not have any other place to stay, I'd help out my buddy. You know, if he doesn't have food, you'd help him out. So there's a little bit of, okay, I want people to at least be okay. So you might want to help someone, even though they are not contributing to this household. But what if the buddy now brings other buddies and more people come? What if there are 9 buddies living in my house and me, and I make the money, I pay for the house every month, I pay for the food, I work in the yard, and all the buddies are there, and they're all living there now. So maybe if they don't have any other way out, maybe I still feel inclined to help them. And I'm like, okay, you can all stay here. I'll try my best. It's hard for me, but we don't want anyone to be on the street. So buddies, let's all stay here and be happy together. And we try and live like this for a while. And this is a representation of South Africa, because in South Africa there are 9 buddies living in the house who are not contributing, and 1 buddy is contributing. Now, maybe this situation can survive, but what if I have to buy the food for everyone and I say, okay, guys, we're eating pap and we're eating bread. And that's what I buy and we eat it. And now all the buddies are like, we don't like pap and bread. We want to eat steak. And they say, let's have a vote. Everyone who says in favor of steak, raise their hand. And 9 buddies raise their hand and they say they want steak. And me, as the one who is providing everything, say, guys, we can't have steak. Because you don't realize, like, if I don't have the money to buy the steak. All of my money is going into the pap and bread that we are eating here and in the house. So we can't have steak. But the buddies say, no, we must have steak. So they say to you, well, you have to go and borrow money. You have to get a credit card and you have to go and buy steak on that credit card so that we can keep on eating steak, because that is what we want. That is our right, if you will. Now, if the buddies force me into doing this because it's a democracy and the majority, 90%, voted in favor of steak, now we have a problem. Because now if I'm forced to go and buy the steak on a credit card and I have to take out loans, in the end, I earn so much money that we lose the house. And I don't have enough money to pay for the house, so we lose the house and everyone's on the street. And that is the representation of what happens when you have the buddies who do not understand where the income comes from. They think the house has money. So they say, the house has to give us steak. But they don't realize there is no house. The house is only there because someone is working. It's exactly the same with the country. The country is only there. The government only has money because it's taking money from people. So let's see if we can change this scenario. What if you have all the buddies now in the house and the 1 buddy works, or you work, and you're providing the income. And now your other buddies are all sitting in the house and you say, okay, buddy, you want to live in the house, but let me tell you what, I've got some money. Let me pay you to clean the house. So I'll take some of my income, I'll pay you to clean the house so that you can also contribute here. Buddy works and he cleans the house, and I'm paying him to clean the house. And there's another buddy in the house, and I'm telling him, why don't you cook? Because other buddy cleans the house, but he also wants food. So now, buddy that cleans the house, you can pay buddy that cooks to do the cooking. And so I pay the buddy that cleans the house, buddy that cleans the house pays the buddy that cooks. And the money kind of spins around and people are contributing. Another buddy gets out, he gets another job and he gets another income. And now he's able to help pay on the expenses of the house. So now come time for us to decide, what are we going to eat? And there's a discussion and we say, okay, what do we want? And everyone is like, okay, well, we want steak. That'll be great. So I say, okay, if we have steak, then everyone has to pay for the steak. So we take a part of everyone's money and we have to pay for the steak. But now if we do this, then we realize that if I'm paying for steak and you're paying for some, we're all giving this money, then I don't have enough money to pay you to clean the house. And then you don't have enough money to pay other buddy to do the cooking. So now all of us are not going to get paid. All of us are not going to be able to have that little bit of expendable income. And if we buy the steak, then there's not going to be enough to go around. So everyone now realizes I have a responsibility because everyone is contributing. And now if there's a show of hands, we all say, okay, what do we have to eat? Then everyone's going to say like, okay, well, let's just get some pap. Let's just get some pap and bread because I still want to have someone that cleans the house. And the other buddy wants someone that still cooks the food. And we all depend on each other. And this is an economy. And this is exactly how it works. So having the concept of a pure democracy where everyone votes, but everyone is not paying taxes is not a workable solution because people don't understand. So the solution to the problem is to have everyone pay taxes so that everyone understands. One can even go as far as saying that people who do not pay taxes should not vote. But again, I like to go for practical solutions. And I do not see a world where we can go and say, no one gets to vote because they're not paying taxes. So the better solution is to try and get everyone to pay taxes. And then that'll change the behavior and the thought patterns on how this whole thing is governed, how the country works. And this is in part where we should be going. This is why I want as many as possible people to be paying taxes so that we can understand the system and everyone collectively will be in a better mind space to be making choices, voting for governments, and doing elections. So stay tuned for part 2 in my series, where I will dive a little bit deeper into how the issue of solving the taxes would solve everything. And if you're interested, then you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube if you want. And you can get all of this priceless wisdom and insights straight from me. And then finally, if you are not wise enough yet to realize that I am right and you feel that you disagree with me, then you're welcome to leave a comment and let me know what you feel about this. And in my wisdom, I realize that I have to be open to other people's opinions, and because that's the only way that we learn and grow. So I might even read your comments and I might even respond, and maybe we can all grow together and learn together. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for the next one. This is Nico Smit signing off. Cheers.